Smart Muses, where everything is awesome and we talk about good stuff like what makes you laugh, makes me cry, makes me happy, makes me sad, or just really, really ticks me off. Well, certainly something that does not tick me off. It is the Hedge Knight, the source material for George R. Martin's Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, based what the TV show is based on. So today, that's what we're going to do, and we're going to finish it. Yes, we are, precious. We're finally going to be done with everything. And then I will be moving on to Harry Potter. And I know I can't do the accent, so I guess I shouldn't have even tried, but there it is. So, the last time previously on Miss Martin Muses for the Hedge Knight, the horn blared. They were all lined up. Baylor Breakspear came out on Dunk's side. So did the Laughing Storm. Raymond became a knight, so he was able to fight with him. It was so epic. So here we go. Here we go. A horn sounded. For a heartbeat, Dunk sat as still as a fly in amber, though all the horses were moving. Oh boy, you see? So you can hear the thunder is starting to go on. The horses were moving. I'm sorry, he's still as a fly in amber. And a stab of panic went through him. I've forgotten all. Haven't we all been there when something like that has occurred? Yes, we have. But in this case, it's something incredibly serious because it is a trial by combat. And a combat of 7. Why, hello, it is Mr. Dadman walking. Thank you for being here. Great to see you. I will shame myself. I will lose everything. Yeah, dude. I mean, what you're going to lose is you're going to die. That's worse than everything. Howdy, and at lunch to listen a bit. Oh, I thank you. Yeah, see, what's great about this is a tale where good will win. It is a seductive power of good, the celebration of what is good. And so here we are. Thunder saved him. Yay! We love the horses here at Miss Martin Muses. The big brown stallion knew what to do even if his rider did not. Yeah, because, horses, they kind of, they, like I said, know what to do. They have their goals. They have their jobs. Dunk's training took over then. He gave the warhorse a light touch of spur and couched his lance. At the same time, he swung his shield until it covered most of the left side of his body. Yeah, he held it at an angle to deflect blows away from him. Oak and iron guard me well, or else I'm dead and doomed to hell. Yeah, this is where rhymes can help you. They can focus you, maybe even save you. The noise of the crowd was no more than the crash of distant waves. Yeah, so he is totally in the zone. Thunder slipped into a gallop. Dunk's teeth jarred together with the violence of the pace. Yeah, so you can imagine, big old horse. He's in all this iron and his teeth are jarring together. He pressed his heels down, tightening his legs with all his strength and letting his body become part of the motion of the horse beneath. I am Thunder, and Thunder is me. We are one beast. We are joined. We are one. Ooh. And the air inside his helm was already so hot he could scarce breathe. Yeah, because I always imagine what it was like inside those and how you could fight. I guess if you trained all the time, you would know what to do. In a tourney joust, his foe would be to his left across the tilting barrier, and he would need to swing his lance across Thunder's neck. The angle made it more likely that the wood would split on impact, but this was a deadlier game. With no barriers dividing them, the destroyers charged straight at each other. Prince Baylor's huge black was much faster than Thunder, and Dunk glimpsed him pounding ahead through the corner of his eye slit. Yeah, so they're all like in one big line. He sensed more than saw the others. They do not matter. Only Arian matters. Only he. Oh, dear. He watched the dragon come. Spatters of mud sprayed back from the hooves of Prince Arian's gray, and Dunk could see the horse's nostrils flaring. the black lance still angled upward. A knight who holds his lance high and brings it online at the last moment always risks lowering it too far. It's remembering the lessons that the old man had told him. He brought his own point to bear on the center of the princeling's chest. My lance is part of my arms, he told himself. It's my finger, a wooden finger. All I need to do is touch him with my long wooden finger. Yeah, so it's like a part of his body. Ooh, yoo, yoo. Let's see, where are we? I lost my place because the book fell. All right. And he's trying not to see Arian's lance and the sharp points, death, perhaps certain death coming towards him. And the lance was growing larger with every stride, so we feel the tension. The dragon, look at the dragon, he thought. The great three-headed beast covered the prince's shield, red wings and gold fire. No, look only where you mean to strike, he remembered suddenly. Oh boy. But unfortunately, because he had done that his lance was now like getting off of target, and he's like, oh no. He saw his point strike Arian's shield, taking the dragon between two of its heads, gouging into a gout of painted flame. At the muffled crack, he felt thunder recoil under him. I mean, gosh, these are big men, big horses just flinging themselves at each other. Something smashed into his side with awful force. The horses slammed together violently, armor crashing and clanging as thunder stumbled, and Dunk's lance fell from his hand. Then he was past his foe, clutching at his saddle in a desperate effort to keep his seat. Thunder lurched sideways in the sloppy mud, and Dunk felt his rear legs slip out from under. They were sliding, spinning, and then the stallion's hind corners slipped down hard. Up! Dunk roared, lashing out with his spurs. Up, Thunder! And somehow the old war horse found his feet again, because Thunder is awesome. We don't deserve thunder. We don't deserve horses, our horses, even though I do not have a horse. Oh, but Dunk is also noticing that he has a big old pain under his rib, and his left arm was being pulled down. Arian had driven his lance through oak, wool, and steel. 3 feet of splintered ash and sharp iron stuck from his side. Oh, damn. In a different planet, that could be fatal. Dunk reached over with his right hand. Oh gosh, this is gonna hurt. Grasped the lance just below the head, clenched his teeth, and pulled it out of him with one savage yank. Ouch! Hello, Phil. Praise for you with metal. Thank you for being here. Good to see you. Yeah, he just pulled a big old broken lance thing out of his side. Dang. Blood followed, seeping through the rings of his mail to redden his surcoat. The world swam and he almost fell. Yeah, because he's losing blood. And he could hear voices calling his name, but it was all very dim. And I would have passed out. His beautiful shield was useless now. He tossed it aside. Elm tree, shooting star, broken lance and all, and drew his sword. But he hurt so much he did not think he could swing it. Yeah, dang. So turning Thunder in a tight circle, he tried to get a sense of what was happening elsewhere in the field. Sir Humphrey Harding clung to the neck of his mount, obviously wounded. Yeah, see, I was worried about him. He has his big old broken leg, and he's very limited in this. The other Sir Humphrey lay motionless in a lake of blood-stained mud, a broken lance protruding from his groin. That's a fatal blow. He saw Prince Baylor gallop past, lance still intact, and drive one of the king's guard from his saddle. Another of the white knights was already down, and Maycor had been unhorsed as well. A third of the king's guard was fending off Sir Robin Riesling. Arian, where's Arian? So he's like looking around. The sound of drumming hoofs behind him made Dunk turn his head sharply. Thunder bugled and reared, hooves lashing out futilely as Arian's gray stallion barreled into him at full gallop. Oh, gosh, can you imagine? This time there was no hope of recovery. His long sword went spinning from his grasp, and the ground rose up to meet him. He landed with a bruising impact that jarred him to the bone and drove the breath from his lungs. Pain stabbed through him so sharp he sobbed. Yeah, dang. For a moment, it was all he could do to lie there. The taste of blood filled his mouth. Dunk the Lunk thought he could be a knight. He knew he had to find his feet again or die. Yeah, this is fatal. Well, look who it is. It is Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective. Great to see you here. Greetings to you too. Hope you are recovering well. You're definitely in our prayers here at Miss Martin Muses. Yes, glad to see that you are virtually present. Yeah, Dunk the Lunk. He knew if he lay down, he was going to die. Groaning, he forced himself to hands and knees. He could not breathe, nor could he see. The eye slit of his helm was packed with mud. Yeah, mud and all that stuff. Nothing's bright or beautiful here. Lurching blindly to his feet, Dunk scraped at the mud with a mailed finger. There, that's... Through his fingers, he glimpsed a dragon flying. Oh, and a spiked morning star whirling on the end of a chain. Dang. Then his head seemed to burst to pieces. Yeah, that would hurt. When his eyes opened, he was on the ground again, sprawled on his back. The mud had all been knocked from his helm, but now one eye was closed by blood. Yeah, dude got hit in the head. Trying not to kill myself. Okay, well, that's good. That's good. You keep looking after yourself. Let's see if see if Duncan's going to do any better. Above was nothing but dark gray sky. Remember we talked about, sunlight, weather, fog, clouds. Now we have a dark gray sky. He broke my head and I'm dying. That's what Dunk is thinking. And I'm sure that that's how it felt. And who knows, maybe he is. What was worse was the others who would die with him, Raymond and Prince Baylor and the rest. I've failed them. I've no champion. I'm not even a hedge knight. I am nothing. He remembered Prince Darren boasting that no one could lie insensible in the mud as well as he did. He never saw Dunk the Lunk, though, did he? The shame was worse than the pain. Oh, boy. But then the dragon appeared above him. 3 heads it had, wings bright as flame, red and yellow and orange. It was laughing. Are you dead yet, Hedge Knight? It asked. Cry for quarter and admit your guilt, and perhaps I'll only claim a hand and a foot. Oh, and those teeth. But what are a few teeth? A man like you can live years on peace porridge. The dragon laughed again. This is reminding me of something from The Incredibles. It's like, quit monologuing, quit talking. It's going to be your downfall. No, eat this then. The spiked ball whirled round and round the sky and fell toward his head as fast as a shooting star. Shooting star. Dunk rolled. And everybody cheered. Well, at least everyone reading cheers. Where he found the strength he didn't know, he rolled onto Arian's legs, threw a steel-clad arm around his thigh, or rather rolled into, so it's like a rolling into thing, threw a steel-clad arm around his thigh, dragged him cursing into the mud, and rolled on top of him. Let him swing his bloody morning star now. Yes, yes, yes. The prince tried forcing the lip of his shield up at Dunk's head, but his battered helm took the brunt of the impact. Arian was strong, but Dunk was stronger and larger and heavier as well. Nice. He grabbed hold of the shield with both hands and twisted until the straps broke. Then he brought it down on top of the princeling's helm again and again and again, smashing the enameled flames of his crest. Yeah, this douche canoe deserves every single one of these blows. The shield was thicker than Dunk's had been, solid oak banded with iron. A flame broke off, then another. The prince ran out of flames long before Dunk ran out of blows. Yeah, so what's happening on the shield is symbolic of what we are seeing in reality. Arion finally let go the handle of his useless morning star and clawed for the poniard at his hip. He got it free of its sheath, but when Dunk wanged his hand with the shield, the knife sailed into the mud. Wanged, I like it. He could vanish Sir Duncan the Tall, but not Dunk of Fleabottom. The old man had taught him jousting and swordplay, but this sort of fighting he had learned earlier. Yeah, a good old-fashioned brawl. Crooked alleys behind the city's wine stinks. Dunk flung the battered shield away and wrenched up the visor of Arion's helm. A visor is a weak point, he remembered Steely Pate saying. The prince had all but ceased to struggle. His eyes were purple and full of terror. Yeah, not such a big man now, are ya? Dunk had a sudden urge to grab one and pop it like a grape. Please do. Please, we're begging you. But that would not be knightly, because he is a true knight. Yield, he shouted. I yield, the dragon whispered, pale lips barely moving. Nice. Dunk blinked down at him. For a moment, he could not credit what his ears had heard. Is it done then? He turned his head from side to side, trying to see. His vision slit was partly closed by the blow that had smashed in the left side of his face. He glimpsed Prince Makor, mace in hand, trying to fight his way to his son's side. Baylor Breakspear was holding him off. Brother against brother. Literally here. Oh, Makor versus Baylor. Dunk lurched to his feet and pulled Prince Arion up after him. I love it. Fumbling at the laces of his helm, he tore it off and flung it away. At once he was drowned in sights and sounds, grunts and curses, the shouts of the crowd. One stallion screaming while another raced riderless across the field. Everywhere, steel rang on steel. Raymond and his cousin were slashing at each other in front of the viewing stand, both afoot. Their shields were splintered ruins. The green apple and the red both hacked to tinder. Ah, there's some symbolism. One of the Kingsguard knights was carrying a wounded brother from the field. Oh, Kingsguard. See, the Kingsguard didn't even want to fight against Dunk, but they had to because of, Arion. Arion was their prince. The third of the White Knights was down, and the Laughing Storm had joined Prince Baylor against Prince Makar. Mace, battle-axe, and longsword clashed and clanged, rigging against helm and shield. Makar was taking 3 blows for every one he landed, and Dunk could see that it would soon be over. I must make an end to it before more of us are killed. An honorable night. Oh, well, look who it is. It is Salty Traveling Sea. Hello. Loved episode 1, hoping it stays agenda-free. Yeah, so far they're doing a great job with it. But then again, we knew that season 1 would be good. But House of the Dragon had some hints in season 1 that things were going to be going astray. So who knows? Who knows? But this is the best one anyway, so if they do this one properly, I will just be a happy camper. Oh, boy. So we have Duncan, Sir Duncan the Tall, Sir Dunk of Fleabottom, an honorable knight, a knight who keeps his vows. But in contrast, Prince Arion made a sudden dive for his morning star. Oh, he faked it out. This man has no honor. We already knew that, but really? Ha! But Dunk kicked him in the back and knocked him face down, then grabbed a hold of one of his legs and dragged him across the field. Nice. Like a rag doll and all this stuff, humiliating the jerk. By the time he had reached the viewing stand where Lord Ashford sat, the bright prince was brown as a pivy. Yeah, because they were going through all the mud. Brown like garbage or feces. Dunk hauled him onto his feet and rattled him, shaking some of the mud onto Lord Ashford and the fair maid. Yeah, get dirty too. Getting symbolism all over the place. Tell him! Aryan Bright Flame spit out a mouthful of grass and dirt. I withdraw my accusation. And everyone cheers. The music swells. Yes, Stieg is here. Hello. Yeah, they lost me when they played the Game of Thrones music in it. I will watch it, but indifferently. Well, we knew they were going to do that. That was actually the weakest part of the whole thing. I thought that was silly. It was stupid. Silly, silly, silly. Afterward, Dunk could not have said whether he walked from the field under his own power or had required help. He hurt everywhere. I am a knight now in truth? He remembered wondering. Am I a champion? Egg helped him remove his greaves and gorget, and Raymond as well, and even Steely Pate. He was too dazed to tell them apart. Dude probably has a concussion. I mean, he got pounded. They were fingers and thumbs and voices. Pate was the one complaining, Dunk knew. Look what he's done to me armor, he said, all dented and banged and scratched. I ask you, why do I bother? I'll have to cut that mail off in my fear. Raymond, Dunk said urgently, clutching at his friend's hands. The others, how did they fare? He had to know. Has anyone died? See, he cares. I know I've said this 1,000 times, but see, he cares. Beesbury, Raymond said, slain by Donald of Dunkensdale in the first charge. Dang, right away. And Sir Humphrey is gravely wounded as well. No. The rest are bruised and bloody. No more. Safe for you. And the accusers, he's asking after them. Sir William Wilde of the King's Guard was carried from the field insensate, and I think I cracked a few of my cousin's ribs. Ha! At least I hope so. And Prince Darren, Dunk blurted, did he survive? Once Sir Robin unhorsed him, he lay where he fell. And everybody cheers. He may have a broken foot. Ouch! His own horse trod on him while running from the field. Dunk felt a huge sense of relief. His dream was wrong then, the dead dragon. Unless Aryan died. He didn't, though, did he? No, said Egg, you spared him. Don't you remember? I suppose. And everything is like becoming muddled and confused and everything because he got his head beat. One moment I feel drunk, the next it hurts so bad I know I'm dying. They made him lie down on his back and talked over him as he gazed up at the rolling gray sky. Yes, gray again. So things aren't happy yet. We don't have the big sunshine coming through. It seemed to Dunk that it was still morning. Morning. He wondered how long the fight had taken. Gods be good, the lance point drove the rings deep into his flesh. It will mortify, unless... Get him drunk and pour some boiling oil into it, someone suggested. Oh, ouch, no. That's how the Meisters do it. Wine. The voice had a hollow, metallic ring to it. Not oil, that will kill him. Boiling wine. I'll send Meister Yormwell to have a look. So a Meister's going to come when he's done tending my brother. A tall knight stood above him. In black armor, dented and scarred by many blows. Prince Balor! The scarlet dragon on his helm had lost a head, both wings, and most of its tail. Your Grace, Dunk said, I am your man, please, your man. My man. The Black Knight put a hand on Raymond's shoulder to steady himself. I need good men, Sir Duncan. The realm. His voice sounded oddly slurred. Oh, no, no. Dunk was very tired. It was hard to stay awake. Your man, he murmured once more. The prince moved his head slowly from side to side. Sir Raymond, my helm, if you'd be so kind, visors cracked in my fingers. Fingers feel like wood. At once, your grace, Raymond took the prince's helm in both hands and grunted, Goodman Pate, a hand. Oof. And I love it, Sir Raymond, because he's a sir now. Steely Pate dragged over a mounting stool. It's crushed down at the back, your grace. Ooh. Your grace, toward the left side, smashed into the gorget. Good steel this to stop such a blow. Brother's mace, most like, Balor said thickly. He's strong. He winced. That feels queer. Here it comes. Pate lifted the battered helm away. Gods be good. Oh gods, oh gods, oh gods preserve. Dunk saw something red and wet fall out of the helm. Someone was screaming high and terrible. Against the bleak gray sky swayed a tall, tall prince in black armor with only half a skull. Oh, the dragon standing above him against a gray sky and black armor. There's more gory details of the wound. I promise you, it's bad. A queer look troubled passed across Balor Breakspear's face, like a cloud passing before a sun. A cloud passing before a sun. He raised his hand and touched the back of his head with 2 fingers, oh so lightly, and then he fell. Dunk caught him. Up, they say he said, just as he had with thunder in the melee. Up, up. But he never remembered that afterward, and the prince did not rise. And there falls a hero. And he had said, we need good men. It's like the realm. He knew the realm needed good men. It wasn't safe. It never was. Wow, the prince did not rise. Balor of House Targaryen, Prince of Dragonstone, Hand of the King, Protector of the Realm, and heir apparent to the Iron Throne of the 7 Kingdoms of Westeros, went to the fire in the yard of Ashford Castle on the north bank of River Cockleswent. Other great houses might choose to bury their dead, but the Targaryens were the blood of the dragon, and their ends were written flames. He had been the finest knight of his age, and some argued that he should have gone to face the dark clad in mail and plate, a sword in each hand. In the end, though, his royal father's wishes prevailed, and Daeron II had a peaceable nature. When Dunk shuffled past Balor's bier, the prince wore a black velvet tunic with a 3-headed dragon picked out in scarlet thread upon his breast. Around his throat was a heavy gold chain. His sword was sheathed by his side, but he did not wear a helm, a thin golden helm with an open visor so men could see his face. Ooh, the hero, the hero. Valar, the young prince, stood vigil at the foot of the bier while his father lay in state. He was a shorter, slimmer, handsomer version of his sire. without the twice broken nose that had made Baylor seem more human than royal. Yeah, Baylor was more human than royal. Valar's hair was brown, but a bright streak of silver gold ran through it. The side of it reminded Dunk of Arian, but he knew that was not fair. Egg's hair was growing back as bright as his brother's, and Egg was a decent enough lad for a prince. Well, we know he's more than a decent enough lad. Egg is amazing. When he stopped to offer awkward sympathies well larded with thanks, Prince Valar blinked cool blue eyes at him and said, "My father was only 39. He had it in him to be a great king, the greatest since Aegon the Dragon." And that's true. He really did. Why would the gods take him and leave you? The question before all ages. He shook his head. "Be gone with you, Sir Duncan, be gone." And poor Duncan comes away all sad, and he goes down to the camp by the green pool. He had no answer for Valar, nor for the questions he asked himself. The Meisters and the boiling wine had done their work, but ouch. And his wound was healing cleanly, though there would be a deep puckered scar between his left arm and his nipple. Now, the scar will be physical, but also we know that it's going to have one on his soul. He could not see the wound without thinking of Baelor. He saved me once with his sword, and once with a word, even though he was a dead man as he stood there. Yeah, it goes my man. Oh, the world made no sense when a great prince died so a hedge knight might live. Another theme. The humble will be exalted, the exalted will be humbled. It's the small people that change the world. Dunk sat beneath his elm and stared morosely at his foot. Very sad. And he's earned sadness. When 4 guardsmen in the royal livery appeared in his camp late one day, he was sure they had come to kill him after all. He sat with his back to the elm, waiting. "Our prince begs a favor of a private word." "Which prince?" said Dunk, wary. "This prince." And Maekar Targaryen walked out from behind the elm. Dunk got slowly to his feet. What would he have of me now? What indeed? Maekar motioned, and the guards vanished as suddenly as they had appeared. The prince studied him a long moment, then turned and paced away from him to stand beside the pool, gazing down at his reflection in the water. Reflection. Reflective. "I have sent Arian to Lyce," he announced abruptly. "A few years in the Free Cities may change him for the better." Yeah, so he knows. Everyone knows that his son is a piece of garbage. Dunk had never been to the Free City, so he didn't know what to say to that. He was pleased that Arian was gone from the 7 Kingdoms and hoped he never came back, but that was not a thing you told a father of his son. Gosh, hear that. That was not a thing you told a father of his son. So even then, even a piece of garbage like Arian, he was good enough to know you didn't tell that to a man about his son, even if it's true. Prince Maekar turned to face him. Some men will say I meant to kill my brothers. The gods know it is a lie, but I will hear the whispers till the day I die. And it was my mace that dealt the fatal blow. I have no doubt. Imagine that he killed his own brother. Obviously fond of each other. And because he's pointing out then, the only other ones that he faced were the King's Guard, and their vows forbade them to do no more harm than defending themselves. So it was me. Strange to say, I do not recall the blow that broke his skull. Is that a mercy or a curse? Some of both, I think. Yeah, we're seeing that Maekar is a very reflective, reflective man. A good man, too, perhaps. Seems so. And in the chaos of a melee like that, goodness knows how many blows are going all over the place, and you just don't know. Let's see. I could not say, Your Grace. Perhaps he, Dunk, should have hated Makar, but instead he felt a queer sympathy for the man. You swung the ace, my lord, but it was for me Prince Baelor died. So I killed him too, as much as you. Oh, this is breaking my heart. Yes, the prince admitted, you'll hear them whisper as well. The king is old. When he dies, Valar will climb the Iron Throne in place of his father. Each time a battle is lost or a crop fails, the fools will say, Baelor would not have let it happen, but the Hedge Knight killed him. True. If I had not fought, you would have had my hand off and my foot. Sometimes I sit under that tree there and look at my feet and ask if I could have spared one. How could my foot be worth a prince's life? Questions for the ages. And, he's knowing it's like, I'm not worthy, a hedge knight for a prince, my foot for a prince, for the heir to the throne, for perhaps the best king that Westeros could have seen since Aegon the Conqueror, for crying out loud. And the other two as well, the Humphreys, they were good men too. And sadly, we learned that Sir Humphrey didn't live. Oh. And what answer does your tree give you? None that I can hear. But the old man Sir Arlen every day at evenfall would say, I wonder what the morrow will bring. He never knew no more than we do. Well, mightn't it be that some morrow will come when all have need of that foot? When the realm will need that foot even more than a prince's life? Aha. Do we know? Will it be? Makor chewed on that a time, mouth clenched beneath the silvery pale beard that made his face seem so square. It's not bloody likely, he said harshly. The realm has as many hedge knights as hedges, and all of them have feet. If your grace has a better answer, I'd want to hear it. Makar frowned. We're getting philosophical here. Philosophical. It may be that the gods have a taste for cruel japes, or maybe there are no gods. Perhaps none of this had any meaning. I'd asked the High Septim, but the last time I went to him, he told me that no man can truly understand the workings of the gods. Indeed, they cannot. Perhaps he should try sleeping under a tree. He grimaced. My youngest son seems to have grown fond of you, sir. It is time he was a squire, but he tells me he will serve no knight but you. Yay! He is an unruly boy. Will you have him? Me? Aegon, I mean. He's a good lad, but your grace, I know you honor me, but I am only a hedge knight. That can be changed, said Makor. Aegon is returned to my castle at Summerhall. Summerhall. There is a place for you, if you wish. A knight of my household. Wow. So Duncan is having the opportunity to be raised to the knighthood, or rather to serve under a prince of the realm. You'll swear your sword to me, and Aegon can squire for you. While you train him, my master at arms will finish your own training. See, look, he's even offering him this. Your Sir Arlen did all he could for you, I have no doubt, but you still have much to learn. I know, my lord. Dunk looked about him. At the green grass and the reeds, the tall elms, the ripples dancing across the surface of the sunlit pool. Another dragonfly was moving across the water, or perhaps it was the same one. What shall it be, Dunk? Dragonflies or dragons? A few days ago, he would have answered at once. It was all he had ever dreamed. But now that the prospect was at hand, it frightened him. Just before Prince Baelor died, I swore to be his man. Presumptuous of you, said Makar. What did he say? That the realm needed good men. That's true enough. What of it? I will take your son as squire, your grace, but not at Summer Hall. Not for a year or two. He's seen sufficient of castles, I would judge. I'll have him only if I can take him on the road with me. And he pointed a chestnut, the horse. He'll ride my stot, wear my old cloak, and keep my sword sharp and my mail scoured. We'll sleep in inns and stables, and now and again in the halls of some landed knight or lesser lordling, and maybe under the trees when we must. We know what he's saying here. We're catching the meaning. Prince Makor gave him an incredulous look. Did the trial addle your wits, man? Aegon is a prince of the realm, the blood of the dragon. Princes aren't made for sleeping in ditches and eating hard salt beef. What is it you're afraid to tell me? Say what you will, sir. Darren never slept in a ditch, I'll wager, Dunk said very quietly. And all the beef that Arian ever ate was thick and rare and bloody, like as not. Yeah. And where did it get them? What did it make them? They had everything that they ever wanted. They never knew what it was like to go hungry. They never slept with the common folk, and look how they turned out. Maekor Targaryen, Prince of Summerhall, regarded Dunk of Fleabottom for a long time, his jaw working silently beneath his silvery beard. Yeah, he feels like he wants to say something about this. Finally, he turned and walked away, never speaking a word. Dunk heard him riding off with his men, not looking, so I guess apparently he wasn't looking. When they were gone, there was no sound but the faint thrum of the dragonfly's wings as it skimmed across the water. The water where people are reflecting. It's going to be a dragonfly, not a dragon. The boy came the next morning just as the sun was coming up. The sun is coming up with Aegon Egg. He wore old boots, brown breeches, a brown wool tunic, and a old traveler's cloak. An old one, rather. My father says I am to serve you. Serve you, sir, Dunk reminded him. You can start by saddling the horses. Chestnut is yours. Treat her kindly. I don't want to find you on Thunder unless I put you there. He's treating him like a squire and older brother, maybe even a father figure. Egg went to get the saddles. Where are we going, sir? Dunk thought for a moment. I have never been over the Red Mountains. Would you like to have a look at Dorne? Egg grinned. I hear they have good puppet shows, he said. Yeah, Dorne is where Chancel went in the puppet shows. Maybe to see her, maybe to ask her out for a drink, maybe just to see that she's okay. Because these are good guys, both of them. We love Dunk and Egg here at Miss Martin Muses. And that is that. So far, the TV show has been great, except for that stupid part at the beginning. They started to play the Game of Thrones scene and then just went to Dunk evacuating. Come on. That was stupid. It pulled us out of it. Beyond though that though is perfect. I love the actor that they have playing Dunk. I love the actor that they have playing Egg. And so far, even though the Laughing Storm guy is a little flamboyant, it makes sense because a dude that goes laughing around in battle probably would act like that. They added a few scenes with him and Dunk, I think, to establish maybe a comradeship. I'm hesitant to call it a friendship. But I was fine with it. I was fine how he was portrayed. I think it's going to be good. So if you have not been reading this book, especially The Hedge Knight, please go ahead and do it. So if you're here after maybe watching the first episode of the Night of Seven Kings, I wanna see what happens, welcome, and maybe watch them all from the beginning, all of these books from the beginning, rather these sessions, or perhaps, wait till the show is over. Either way, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad that everyone has come in, and it's always good to see you all. Steek says, "Oh, if the show's gone full guitared, that shot of Dunk crapping will be used as a gift to mark the show. Mark my words." Yes. Well, and even if it doesn't, I think we could use that GIF for the House of the Dragon and a Game of Thrones right now. Right now. Yeah. In the after part where they were all talking, they said that they I think it was the showrunner guy who said that. It's like, "I hope the audience forgives us for that." And it's like, "No, I don't really forgive you." So they knew it was a bit stupid. I think they were smelling their own farts in that kind of a situation. They should have just kept it straight. And they darn right shouldn't have ruined the whole thing with that preview. My gosh. So if you haven't seen it yet, don't watch the preview. They give away the entire series. It's stupid. I mean, come on, HBO, jerks. I knew it was gonna happen, but come on. Even I wanted to wait to see it for the first time, but I mean, it was like a summary of the entire thing. It was like a YouTube thing summarizing it. It was HBO sucks. I mean, Suits. People in Suits, will they ever get a brain? Probably not. Well, again, welcome everyone coming in. And please stay tuned. I will be going back to maybe some more musings, but definitely Harry Potter. We're going to go with Harry Potter. I will be doing Wuthering Heights. I don't know if anyone's going to want Wuthering Heights, but I want Wuthering Heights. And hopefully, maybe what I enjoy, you will enjoy, because Wuthering Heights is probably one of the great works of literature and bold works of literature, which the movie, of course, will butcher, because just looking at the preview, okay, this is not Wuthering Heights. And the fact that they're having it come out on Valentine's Day is absurd, because it is not a romance. It is not. It's a great, great novel, though. So I'll be doing that. And maybe some others. But for sure, Harry Potter, I'm going to continue with, as well as Wuthering Heights. And there's all sorts of great classics out there that I think that everyone could read and that everyone can enjoy. Um, I can't recommend A Song of Ice and Fire till Martin finishes it. And speaking of going guitared, I mean, he sure did, didn't he? He did. Recently in that interview where he was talking about Winds of Winter. I mean, he just needs to just shut up. That's all I gotta say about that. So, also upcoming is going to be a Fistful of Dollars with Steve, the Cowboy Campfire, discussing Western movies, one a month. This was one that I chose. Also, the Detective Challenge. I always have a casual challenge in January to help everyone beat the holiday blues. So that's going to be upcoming in February, once we're done with February. So you can find that on my X or on a community post here on YouTube. I want to thank everyone that's been here. I want to thank, we had Dadman Walking 55. Thank you for coming in. We had Phil Praise for you with metal. Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective, Salty Traveling Sea, and Steve Kenobi, thank you for being here. And all of you that will be watching on the replay. I've got to go now. I have to pick up a prescription from the pharmacy. Have a great day, everyone. Have a great day. And be certain to read good literature. I can't. Be certain to read good literature. I'll do a better outro. I don't have my outro. Here it is.